I mean, it's actually a sad sack of nominations.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Most of the things that would really kill me, I don't think are gonna happen.
Well, we always say that, and then.
Well,
Welcome back to Evolution of a Snake. I'm Zach.
and I am Madeline.
And we are back with our world famous, globally renowned, internationally recognized segment, Phone a Snake, where we ask you, our dear listeners, to call in to put your hands into the snake den and see if you will get bit or if we'll cheer for you, because either outcome is completely plausible and possible for you.
It is, yeah. And we are always warning people about this. We're always telling them, you got to be careful. If you're going to send it in, you got to be willing to take the heat. If you can't take the heat, you got to get out of the kitchen. I've told you a million times.
And yet some people act confused. So let this be your millionth warning that when you submit, you could get bit. If you ever want to submit to Phone a Snake, you got to go to Patreon, patreon.com/riftologist. Speaking of, as you are listening to this, soon there will be a paywalled Phone a Snake where we talk about things that we can't say, in front of the public domain. And that should be interesting to you. We've got a lot of crazy
Top secret
stuff this month.
Not just anybody can listen to it.
Secret.
You have to pay the toll.
You can't break into the vault. This is not the Louvre. You can't get in.
No, it's not the Louvre.
You have to pay your money.
It's much more locked down than the Louvre. And it's really much more locked down than the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum or whatever museum that got robbed in Boston.
Well, that's not locked down at all. They let anybody go in and take anything from there.
Apparently, they let anybody in there.
It's a donation drive.
Yeah.
But either way, I realize we haven't said what Phone a Snake is about today. Phone a Snake this month is about the Grammys, because nominations just came out and we know that you have feelings. Madeline, do you have any opening opinions to share about the nominations this year?
Ooh, do I have any? Tate McRae snubbed. Tate McRae snubbed. No pop vocal album nomination. I find that really interesting. And no sports car record of the year. I found that really, really interesting. But y'all cast Chris Brown. I'm just saying.
It's disgusting.
You'll nominate Chris Brown. You'll nominate Swag by Justin Bieber. But I'm not lumping them together, just for the record. Two completely different kitten caboodles. I apologize. I shouldn't have said one after the other like they're the same. They're not. Justin, I apologize. What I'm saying is Tate McRae snubbed. That's all you need to take away from that. Thank you.
Many people are saying that. I also think so. I thought pop vocal album would have been an easy layup for her. And it's like, if Justin Bieber's in album of the year, why don't we give that spot to Tate?
At that point, if we're just letting anybody in,
which they are,
let Tate McRae in. She had hits. Revolving Door. Many people gagged. Dear God, I gagged. Sports Car, gag. Two Hands. None of My Business. I don't know about it. What was the other one?
It's okay, I'm okay. We gagged for that.
Oh, it's okay. I'm okay. I had him in the first place. It's okay. Music video of the year.
Oh,
it was
that
really, really good.
That was a crime that there was no music video of the year nomination for Tate McRae.
It's never too early to plan which shows you want to go to this summer.
I'm planning on going to see Ariana, Adele featuring Demi Lovato, and potentially Lady Gaga.
And the best way to secure tickets to any of these events is by using today's sponsor, SeatGeek.
Every ticket that you see on SeatGeek is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know that you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dots. Green means buy, red means be careful.
Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, so you can feel confident that you're getting the best ticket. There are so many amazing artists who are planning to tour in summer 2026, and so many opportunities to see amazing shows. So please use our code SNAKE10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek.
That's 10% off tickets with code SNAKE10, and make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so that you can use it later.
Thank you, SeatGeek, for helping us to see our favorite artists live.
But I guess, you know what? Why don't we just start with crazy opinions? Let's start with this one about Best New Artist.
Hi, Snakes. I'm putting my hand in the snake den. I might get bitten. We'll see. I'm thinking that KATSEYE might win as Best New Artist at the Grammys. It's not something that I want. It's something that I distinctly am worried about. I think Olivia Dean should get it. Maybe even long shot Addison Rae. But I think that sometimes the Grammys give in to their worst instincts, which is to make this a popularity contest. And I think that KATSEYE has had a very, strong cultural presence this year, or at the very least over the summer. And I'm worried. I'm worried that they're going to win. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
If KATSEYE were to win, this would literally be the TikTok awards. It would be getting awarded for going viral on TikTok. This is a musical ceremony. They don't even have an album out. They have no business being nominated for Best New Artist. I'm sorry. If you don't have an album out, that should be like criteria number 1 for being Best New Artist. What are we celebrating? 5 songs?
I think that the callers' fears are outweighing reality. I saw that they were nominated, and I said, "Congratulations on your nomination, and you will not see the harvest." There's a lot of really strong contenders in Best New Artist. Like, there's a lot of people who could really win that. KATSEYE is like bottom of the list. This is kind of, it's like they're just handing candy out, and like, oh, KATSEYE, you got a little piece, and that's all you're gonna get. They're not gonna win Best New Artist. Just, it's not even a thought in my head.
Best New Artist at the VMAs? Maybe so. But even still, I just think people are being so delusional about KATSEYE. And it's like, you have to understand how to separate like the strength and the quality of the group from the output of their musical performance. Because yes, they are an incredible group. Yes, they are magnetic, completely compelling to watch. They are all so individually talented. But the creative direction behind that group is a mess. And the songs that they are being given are not better than what anyone else in that category is doing. I would even sooner give this to Alex Warren over KATSEYE, because I just think that they have not worked long enough. I'm not saying they haven't worked hard enough, because they work hard. They get worked hard by their label for sure. But to me, this is like industry glad handing that they even got a nomination, because it's absurd to be a Best New Artist with no album out. $50K for a verse, no album out. Best New Artist for a Grammy, no album out.
And they're gonna show up on that red carpet in some, busted set of outfits. And we're gonna have to see it just for them to walk home with nothing, because their only other award, they're up against Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande for Defying Gravity, or
Not
whichever
Cynthia
song
Erivo.
it is. Cynthia. For some reason, I can't say Cynthia Erivo. I don't know why. And even as I'm trying to say it, I'm thinking, say Cynthia. It's like a tongue twister for me. Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo, I like it better.
KATSEYE is gonna beat the wicked Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo song. It's never gonna happen. So we're gonna have to see some crazy outfits for no reason.
Well,
don't piss me off.
You know what's really scary about that? The Grammys hate Ariana Grande, and Ariana Grande hates the Grammys. So I wouldn't even necessarily say, I think obviously in the normal world of reality, they're a shoo-in, but I think with the political stuff behind the scenes between Ariana and the Grammys, which goes back quite a long way, BTW, I think that might actually not be such a locked opportunity, but surely there are other people in that category other than KATSEYE that would be a number 2.
I'm actually not sure who is up for that award. It's like a
Let's
duo performance or like pop performance of the year. I can't remember which one it is.
Well, also KATSEYE for Gabriella. I'm like, these?
What? Like Gabriella,
who cares?
APT,
Defying Gravity, Golden, and 30 for 30. Let's give it to 30 for 30. And you know what? Actually, who really deserves? APT deserves. It really does.
In the sense that I get what you're saying. I can't say that in good conscience. That song to me is like the destabilization of society.
It is.
I can't. APT. It's over for
But
me.
that's kind of Grammy bait. It's Grammy bait because it would be really groundbreaking for Rosé to win, and also they love Bruno Mars. That to me seems kind of like Grammy catnip. It ticks a lot of boxes for them, but I mean, it's actually a sad sack of nominations. We've got KATSEYE, we've got K-pop Demon Hunters,
this is what
APT,
I'm saying.
Defying Gravity, and 30 for 30. Like,
what I'm saying. Like,
this?
This is why I don't even care about the drama between Ariana Grande and the Grammys. Anything else but Wicked wins, and it's clown show. Squeak, squeak, squeak. So you might as well just kind of end.
And it deserves. It
deserves. It deserves. And it deserves. It deserves.
Well, my question is, I guess because it's not the song that's being nominated, it's literally the performance, which is why they would get a Grammy despite having not written the song. I wonder if the songwriters would get a Grammy as well.
I wonder who the songwriters are. I actually am unfamiliar with who wrote the Wicked soundtrack. I don't
Score.
know.
Yeah, I don't know who did
from
that.
the original Broadway. I have no idea. I don't know anything about. I'm not up to date on my Broadway girls.
I think we don't even really care. So there's that. Okay, let's go to the next question. This one had me pausing and thinking and reflecting.
Hi Zach, hi Madeline. Hope you're okay. My kind of take on the Grammys and Taylor, and something that really upsets me is that I think if Taylor had waited one more year to release Tortured Poets and had released it last year instead of like the April before, I think honestly it would have been received so much better. I think critics would have actually adored it and probably recognised it as her magnum opus as a songwriter, probably more so than folklore. And that means a lot coming from me. I'm a folklore girly. But I just think that, you know, she'd have released it last year. Then we look at the Grammys this year, you know, it's not Pop Girl Summit. It's more open for these big artists like Taylor. I think if she'd have come in this year, because it would have been eligible for this year's, I think we'd see a Tortured Poet sweep. I think we'd see a Taylor sweep. You know, not saying that anyone nominated this year isn't worthy, but compared to last year's Pop Girl Summit, you know, there were so many big commercial and critical albums last year. And yeah, I think she would have definitely stood more of a chance. And I think it just would have been received so much better as well, from like a critical perspective. So that's just my opinion. I'd love to.
Interesting.
Probably pretty true. I mean, especially like last year was a hard year anyway. Plus, like, because she had just won Album of the Year for Midnights, even if it wasn't Pop Girl Summit, that was never going to happen. We said it. Midnight stole Tortured Poets Grammy. We knew that. We knew it. We said it then. I'm still saying it today. So I definitely think that, like, a lot of things would have been really different. It's kind of like the flap of the butterfly's wing. A lot of things would have been different had she thought that it was necessary to wait. I think in her mind she was like, I don't have to wait. I'm just going to put it out. And between you and me, thank God, because I needed that.
I think she also wanted to move on from that part of her personal life, and this really needed to be out of the way as soon as possible in order for her to keep going and being happy in her new relationship. If she hadn't gotten into a serious new relationship so quickly, perhaps she would have sat on it for a little bit more time, I think. But because she was ready to like shed that image and explain what happened, she needed it to come out. And also, I think it coming out on the Eras Tour saved her from having to do press about it, which would have just been simply torturous because too many revelations were had. If I were an interviewer interviewing her about Tortured Poets, the list of questions would never end. There'd be so many things to ask, to say. But something I think is interesting is I don't know that she would be a shoo-in this year, because to me it seems like every year the Grammys, as of late, are addressing a criticism that comes from them. So last year it was that there was almost no, a conversation that got kicked up a lot was the fact that like hip hop albums are almost never considered for Album of the Year and have a really long shot of winning. And this year, it seems to me that they are really making more of a point to celebrate that genre and to try and be more direct about understanding and acknowledging its excellence. So I really do think that they are shooting for a hip hop album of the year this year. And I don't think that Tortured Poets would have cleared that mandate.
And it will be Clips this year. Watch this space. I'll be right. And it deserves too. That's who it. I'm saying it. I said it in my own episode. I'm saying it here. I am not rooting for Mayhem for Album of the Year. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's the Album of the Year. Just kind of my take. If we're talking pop girl albums, like, that's not really the one that I would say, this was the Album of the Year. I don't know about anybody else. I'm saying Clips. And I will see the harvest.
It was the album of Q1.
It was the album of Q1. Well, remember in Q1 we were like, did all the pop girls release that year and we're not going to get anything. And then we got so close to what, before Mayhem, didn't we? Or like it was within the same month.
Yeah, it was within the same month. They came out really quickly.
And so there was like this opinion of like, oh, Lady Gaga's back. Like, oh yeah, Lady Gaga pop is back. This is so great. You know, pop music isn't dead. And then, you know, the interest kind of, at least if you're me.
Yeah. I mean, also the album is great, but it is like Lady Gaga doing Lady Gaga. I wouldn't say it's like extra special compared to her other records. I think that it's an incredibly strong effort, and it's my favorite one as of late. But I can think of Gaga records that deserved Album of the Year more than this one. But I wouldn't be mad if it won. I certainly wouldn't be upset. I think if we're choosing between Man's Best Friend and Mayhem, I would probably choose Mayhem.
Oh, if it's between those two, yeah, Mayhem easy. But you know, again, that's another opinion that not everybody agrees with. Nobody agrees.
Mayhem is pretty much front to back. I'd say it's more or less like a listen all the way through. Man's Best Friend, I have culled like 6 songs from the record, and it's only like 12 songs long, so that's not great.
Yeah.
That
also,
is not
again,
great.
like,
all
how
right.
can it be the Album of the Year when it's like it met the requirement by a day?
Yeah.
So it's like, how can it be the Album of the Year when really, if Manchild won record or song, I would be silent. Because at least it had a good 4 months to sit there and simmer. The whole album, Man's Best Friend, it's like, I don't really know what, is this just like a kind of like retroactive Sabrina Carpenter short and sweet Album of the Year win? Maybe so. It's never too early to start planning which shows you're going to this summer. There are so many shows that we are absolutely dying to go to, such as
Ariana Grande, Adele with Demi Lovato, potentially Lady Gaga again.
And there's no other app that we would rather use to help us secure our tickets than SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads and 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, it is the #1 rated ticketing app. Right now, you can get tickets to so many amazing events, just like the ones that Zach mentioned earlier.
SeatGeek is the best app to use when you're looking for tickets because they make it so easy to find reliable tickets at the best price. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10 so that you know whether you're getting a good deal or not. Look for the green dots. Green means buy, red means be careful, diva.
Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, so you can feel confident that you're getting the best possible ticket. Don't miss out on your opportunity to see any of your favorite artists this summer. Please use our code SNAKE10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek.
That's 10% off tickets with promo code SNAKE10, and make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so that you can use it later.
Thank you, SeatGeek, for helping us get to see our favorite artists live.
Next question.
Hi, Snakes. Here's a thought. Is it possible that Gracie Abrams' potential nominations were affected by Audrey Hepburn's debut this summer?
Well, given that she's not in any categories or nominated for anything.
And sweet. I really have to say, Audrey Hepburn didn't get nominated at all, did she?
No, not at all.
So hold on. So what's the correlation, my friend? So Gracie.
This is what I'm wondering.
So Gracie, neither of them got nominated, but I kind of want to follow the thread of like.
I like the thread. I think there's something to it.
The thread of like Audrey is now canceling out Gracie Abrams' success. I haven't seen that happen yet. I think that it's still pretty much Gracie's world and we're just living in it in terms of like if we're comparing and contrasting success. But like, I don't know what's going to happen in the next year. It depends on what Gracie does next.
I think amongst the tastemakers, Gracie Abrams is very popular with the locals, but she is very hated by stan communities from different varieties, which is why, we had to call off the Gracie Abrams sucks train because we're not trying to contribute to a pile-on of a woman. And also, she's not PMO right now. So I like That's So True. I really do think it was a huge oversight that it wasn't nominated for Song of the Year. It was everywhere. Everybody was obsessed with it.
But
it was
Y'all
a bonus
Cast
track
Wildflower by
surprise
Billie Eilish.
runaway. We're going to get to that. Trust me, we're getting to that. But yeah, the Gracie Abrams oversight to me, that was such an insult. I think Song of the Year, is it true that those lyrics are nonsensical? Well, yes. But is it also the songwriting that makes the song so much fun to sing and makes it so like delectable and repeatable, made it out a lot? Like there's something word vomity to it that's great. I think in general, though, this question of Audrey Hepburn coming out with this project, to me, I've been trying to have this conversation with everyone that will listen. It has woken up the fact that what I thought Gracie was starting to get good at is really, in fact, in my opinion, Audrey Hepburn's influence and what Audrey's good at. Can Gracie Abrams write Risk or That's So True without Audrey Hepburn in the room? I don't think so. Let's listen to the first record. There's nothing like it. So if for example, her next album is all Audrey Hobart co-writes, which it should be, we'll understand the influence. But if the next album is no Audrey Hobart rewrites, no hits, no one moves, we will also understand the Audrey Hobart influence.
There could be other things that happen too, lest we forget. It could be no Audrey Hobart and it's the #1 album of the year. We don't know.
Well,
we don't know. We don't know.
In the sense
we don't
that
know.
Probably not, but I remain open.
If I think about them, I'm thinking, if I was like in the room, if like Audrey was here and I was like talking to her, I'd be like, my best advice to you is to stop co-writing Gracie Abrams songs. You kind of have to set yourself apart from that, because right now I kind of think people just see you as the girl who wrote some of Gracie Abrams' songs. So it's like, if you want to, you really have to like, you have to start your own sort of like brand and sort of moment, because
and she has,
otherwise,
but she's going to dilute her brand if she keeps giving 50% of it away to Gracie. And Audrey is one of those writers where I don't think that she's like an anonymous songwriter like Justin Tranter, who can kind of mold himself into the voice of whoever he's writing for. Those Gracie Abrams songs sound like the Audrey Hobart songs that are on her album. She's not versatile like that from what I can see. So yeah, she's kind of diluting her market share if she continues to give away her good material to Gracie.
But as for the question, did Audrey Hobart take away Gracie's Grammys? I think no. She's not there. Gracie's not there.
Conclusively, it is absolutely yes. Thank you for asking that question. All right, here is, do you want something controversial?
Sure, controversial.
Controversial. Okay. Actually, I don't know if this is controversial at all. Well, oh no, it is to you. It is to you.
Hey, Zach and Madeline. So I am really surprised that Role Model didn't get nominated for Best New Artist, considering that he had a huge moment with Sally When the Wine Runs Out. And I feel like it deserved at least a nomination.
Well, at least he has an album.
It didn't, and the Grammys agrees. So I think we should just leave it at that. He doesn't deserve anything. They recognize him for what he is. They see it, and so do I. Thank you so much.
I'm going to provide the opposite perspective as per usual when it comes to Role Model. I think that Sally When the Wine Runs Out was like a cultural moment that deserved an acknowledgement of some description. I think Best New Artist Bone, him over Alex Warren, that's for damn sure.
No.
That's for damn sure.
At least Alex Warren had the hit of the summer. Sally When the Wine Runs Out, I couldn't tell you what it sounds like. I have no idea what that song sounds like.
Yeah,
I know what Ordinary sounds like.
She could be a diva.
I don't know it. I don't know it.
Well, I don't know what Ordinary sounds
so
like. So you see how that works?
Yes, you do. Don't lie. Yes, you do. You know exactly what it sounds like. Sally When the Wine Runs Out, I don't know what the hook of that song is. Couldn't tell you.
Heard
I know
through
what the
the
hook of Ordinary
grapevine.
is.
She could be a diva.
I don't know it. I've heard the song a million times. Why is it in my brain? Ordinary. Well, it's in there.
No, please don't give me that.
Listen.
I think, well, I'm saying he deserves a nomination. I'm going to say that. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Well, he should keep his shirt on next time.
My opinion.
Keep your
I don't think so.
Shirt on.
Take it off. Take it off. Only bought this shirt so you could take it off. All right, up next.
Hi, Snakes. Love the pod. My opinions on the Grammy nominations are that we saw too much swag and Man's Best Friend representation. And Tate was robbed of Pop Vocal Album, and then Sports Car and Twilight Zone were both robbed from Solo Pop Performance.
Wake it up.
And why is Wildflower nominated for Record and Song of the Year whenever it was mid? And also, like, she was nominated for Hit Me Hard and Soft last year, whatever. But at the end of the day, Gaga sweep.
At the end of the day, none of this matters. None of it matters.
Gaga sweet. Gaga.
But yeah,
sweet.
no, so Tate robbed. We already knew that. Tate was absolutely robbed. I do think there is too much swag. I think we can.
Yeah,
I don't
me
mind
too.
him. I genuinely do not mind him a Pop Vocal Album. I think that's where he belongs. Album of the Year was shocking to me. The Justin Bieber recognition for Album of the Year.
What did you do for the album as well? There was no promo. Even Miley Cyrus, noted nothing doer for promotion of her albums, did more for Something Beautiful. I would take that. Let's give that a nomination. I can't be serious about that. Swag, I mean, it was a moment. That's the only thing I can give it. But did the moment last? I'm asking.
Yeah, that's a very fair question. Daisies and Yukon are kind of like the surviving, like, oh, people are playing those songs from the album. But again, it's like album of the year. I mean, it has to mean something, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, can we say this? I don't think swag is a front to back celebration.
It's
I
not.
don't.
It's so overstuffed. Like it with some editing. Honestly, it could have been a really strong, shorter album.
They're gonna get me in specific because I always say Torture Poets deserved Grammy.
Well, it's completely different.
But it's completely different. It's not the same thing.
But Swag had songs that were like clones of each other. There aren't two songs on Torture Poets that like cancel each other out because they sound the same. Thank you, Amy and Cassandra. I think they are both redundant, but they are different and they say different things.
They do. No, I think we should open the case on that. I think that album of the year for Swag was a misstep. Man's Best Friend over recognition, but the thing is, I knew it. I knew there wasn't a doubt in my mind.
I was like, give a pop girl a bone, and she was the biggest pop girl of the year, so of course she's going to get a nomination. I'm really not unhappy about Man's Best Friend. If it won pop vocal album, I would be cheering for that.
Yeah, I think I would be fine with Man's Best Friend pop vocal. Album of the year, I would have something to say about that. I assure you all. I will be silent only up until that point. That's when we're really doing payola. But people need to be worried about the hip hop vote splitting. Because it will happen.
But we said that last year about the pop girl vote splitting, and it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I do think that if hip hop, like if we got vote split on the hip hop albums, it would sooner go to Mayhem than it would go to Man's Best Friend.
I think so. Also, the Grammys seem to be into retroactive awarding people that deserve, that have not been celebrated in a while. And I think that Lady Gaga should have an album of the year. Like if it won, I would feel the same way that I felt about Beyonce winning for Cowboy Carter. Not my favorite album of hers, but I totally respect the hustle, and this award is very much deserved.
Period.
But I don't think a pop girl is going to get it this year. I just don't think that.
Watch this space.
I
will see my harvest.
Space. Here we go. Up next, a question about songwriting.
Hi, Snake. So my Grammy opinion is that I think that Song of the Year is kind of a nothing category. I don't think they really think that deeply about songwriting. My tin hat theory is that they just use record to reward production and put every hit that doesn't have amazing production and Song of the Year. I think that this year especially made it very clear that they're not thinking that deeply about songwriting. I won't give my opinion on the songs nominated, but I think we all agreed that most songs there aren't emblematic of the best writing of the year. I wouldn't say they're emblematic of even those artists' best written songs. I think Sabrina's a really good example of that.
So here's what we've got. We've got Lady Gaga with Abracadabra. We've got Doechii with Anxiety. We've got Rosé and Bruno Mars for APT. Bad Bunny with DTMF. Golden from the K-pop Hunters. Is it Demon Hunters? I don't know what it is. Kendrick Lamar and SZA for Luther. Sabrina Carpenter, Manchild. Billie Eilish, Wildflower. To me, songwriting, it's Kendrick Lamar and SZA. No?
I think that's definitely a front runner. I'm obsessed with the fact they put Abracadabra up. Abracadabra.
But you know what? That's Lady Gaga's specialty. It is. That's Lady Gaga's songwriting.
It is. Let's open the case. I do think they're going to hate me for saying it. Everybody keeps hating me for saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it. Anxiety by Doechii. Don't rule it out. Do not rule her out ever. The songwriting also is good. I know people hate it. It started to drive me crazy really early too. Much. Overplayed, absolutely, but like that sample is so tight, and like the writing on it is really good, and like the vocal, like everything about it is actually like a pretty good song. I hate to be the one to say that, but don't rule out Wildflower either. I hate to say it.
Okay, can I say something? How does Wildflower even go? And how is it eligible for this year? Was it not on Hit Me Hard and Soft? What is this song? I've never heard it before.
I think there's some technicality where it was like released again.
But okay, Song of the Year, I've never heard it before. And I listened to the album and I've still never heard it before.
But I couldn't. It's like Sally When the Rain Runs Out to me. It's like I don't know it. I don't know her. I don't know her. Mariah Carey.
Maybe they felt bad about like ignoring Hit Me Hard and Soft, and they were like, well, she needs to be there somehow. But I'm saying no consolation prizes.
But also don't rule out Golden. I don't know. People really like that song. I don't know it, but
I think it's awesome that there's a non-English language song in Song of the Year. Yeah. That's really cool. We've got a Bad Bunny moment. That would be a really fun, like historic thing to happen for him to win. APT.
I'm not entertaining it.
It's whatever.
Whatever
Like,
you
girls.
want.
Girls. I get that part is clever, like what they did with the Korean word and like the double meaning of it. That is clever. I will say, like, in terms of songwriting cleverness, maybe so. But man-child, yeah.
She's definitely in Song of the Year. When we're talking about record, that's a different conversation. But Song of the Year, Man-Child is at the bottom of my list, ladies and gentlemen. I take Abracadabra. Easily, I take Abracadabra. Man-Child,
but
not on my
record of
watch.
the year, I could see Man-Child getting that win. It's been a big hit. Like, it has been a huge hit this year. And I like it. I personally like Man-Child. I don't know what everyone's so upset about.
Who's everyone? Who are you talking to?
They're not happy that Man-Child is nominated. They're saying that it should have been another song from Man's Best Friend.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's what people aren't thinking. Like, there are better songs on Man's Best Friend. Let's open the case. But, like, which
House
one was
Tour.
the hit? You have to consider it. Like, which one was the one that actually she released as a single and submitted? Ladies and gentlemen.
This is why Fortnite gets the nomination, because we don't think with our full strategic brains when we release singles. But it is, you know what, that is kind of an unfair dichotomy, because the song that you release as a single from an album is usually not the best written song. It's supposed to do something very specific. So I guess the answer would be maybe release more than one single. Taylor didn't release more than she had two. So maybe we did Guilty as Sin single number 2. We could have submitted it, but no.
That didn't happen, did it? But let's not rehash these old wounds. Let's not open these old hurts.
No, we can't. We'll be here all day. This one really made me idge bawl out loud when I played it, because it just felt so random. It's a randomista.
Hi, Snakes. I think Troye Sivan deserves 10 more Grammys. Even though he didn't get in this year, but he's such an icon, and I'm looking forward to another single or an album from him.
No, I'm hearing that. No, I'm hearing.
She just wanted to say,
clear.
I love
Troye Sivan. I love Troye Sivan. That's what she wanted to say. And you know what? More people need to say it. I actually saw on Apple Music, they had like this category in my like Discover page or whatever you want to call it there, and it was called The World of Troye Sivan. And I was like, what world?
What world? She's there. She's there.
She's there. No, she's in Troye Sivan world. I also, like, Troye Sivan is one of those people where it's like, I'm not streaming him all the time. I did really like Something to Give Each Other. I thought that was I thought it was a good album. But it's like, I'm not streaming him all the time. I don't think about him a lot. But like when I see him, I'm like, oh, there's my little buddy. He's kind of like an elite employee. I just like him. I think he's very likable.
Well,
maybe he should have a Grammy.
Grammy
for being a little buddy.
Me and Troye Sivan have a different relationship to MADELINE and Troye Sivan in that he hates me. I'm blocked. So that means that I don't think of him as my little buddy. But I thought that Got Me Started was nominated for Best Dance Pop Recording last year.
Deserved.
Unfortunately for Troy, Charlie ate all of his nachos. Like, if Charlie hadn't done Brat that year, he would have had a really good chance, I think, at everything he was nominated for. Best Dance Pop Recording, he got 2 nominations. Actually, yeah, he got nominated for Rush in 2024 and for Got Me Started in 2025. And he didn't win either.
Deserved. I'm interested to see what Troy has next up his sleeve. I think that he kind of has like a big... if you're a Troy fan, I would think that there would be a big, like, you have a big expectation for his follow-up to like the Sweat Tour and, you know, Something to Give Each Other.
I like that he takes his time. He's kind of like Lorde, but less annoying about it.
He thinks, he ponders, and there's something to that, ladies. You know who I'm talking about.
Up next, speaking of the diva.
Hey Snakes. My Grammy's opinion or question is, what do you think about the lack of Lorde nominations? I think that she was snubbed, and I really wish that she was in there. And I was wondering what you were thinking about that and where you think she should go.
I know what MADELINE has
Thank you.
to say.
Love you guys so much.
MADELINE says nowhere.
I have no thoughts about it. There was never a doubt in my mind that this would not happen. People kept saying it. Like, I kept seeing it in the prediction list, like, Lorde, Virgin, Lorde, Virgin. With what? I'm sorry. Like, it's not a matter of whether or not I liked it. That's not the issue. The issue is, let's look at the numbers. Let's open the case. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. You guys know that. Come on. I wasn't surprised. No.
You're an
I wasn't
adult.
shocked.
You should know that.
I wasn't shocked. No. I mean, if let's just like play pretend land. If What Was That got nominated for something, I wouldn't have been bowled over shocked. Lorde, Virgin, Album of the Year, or Pop Vocal, that would have shocked me. What Was That getting any kind of recognition? That wouldn't have surprised me, because maybe there was a little something there. Kind of.
I thought that the production on What Was That was really cool, and it was like kind of different than anything she's done before. She was working with a new production team. So I would have really seen a What Was That moment for Record of the Year. And I also think that pop solo performance, definitely we could have had a Lorde Memento in there. But yeah, I agree, Virgin not being nominated for any of the album categories, Lorde has had a really interesting journey with the Grammys, because she was a Grammy darling. She was a Grammy darling. And someone in my TikTok comments tried to make the argument that, like, why would anyone even expect Lorde to be in the Grammys this year? And I was like, well, hang on. They loved her. For a period of time, she was like a very celebrated Grammy bait kind of artist. She was like a prodigy. And I think Lorde has really struggled to find her space in the music industry after not being like the savant from New Zealand who's 17 years old and like saying something about culture we've never heard before. She's struggled a little bit to find her place. She was nominated for Melodrama. Melodrama had no hits too, and that got an Album of the Year nod. But at this point, like with Virgin, Solar Power, I think, destroyed a lot of her critical goodwill. And Virgin was just, as an album, I would say it was very brief. Like, it wasn't strong enough, and it didn't have enough of a moment to warrant being nominated alongside some of these other albums. But I could maybe pop vocal album, maybe, but I don't know that it's bigger than the other nominees in that category. That's the problem.
And that's all there is to it. If you're going to nominate some kind of like underground album, it's not going to be Virgin by Lorde. It would be Ego, Death at a Bachelor Party by Hayley Williams. Open the case.
Yeah.
Which one is a better
really
album? This is kind of like no contest to me.
Well, actually, I was thinking Lorde, she could have gotten an album, because Virgin isn't really pop to me. It's not really that poppy. So I was thinking, like, if the album could have been nominated anywhere, maybe alternative album. That's where it should have maybe deserved an album nomination more than any of the other pop categories.
Yeah, I could see that.
Reclassifying herself as an alternative artist, actually, I think would help her a lot.
Well, Halsey's been trying to do it for years. They won't let her.
That was my second thought. I was like, Halsey is up next. And instead they're saying, give us Taylor Swift numbers. And they should be in jail.
They should be in jail. Because you'd be in jail.
Because you'd be in jail. And here we go. Since we were talking about Ms. Williams.
Hey, Snake. So I definitely think Hayley Williams was snubbed at the Grammys. But for what she did get, of course, I think Glum deserves. But I don't really with Mirtazapine. I don't think it's the best song on the record, or I honestly don't listen to it, and it's just not very fun. So, yeah, what do y'all think of the songs that were chosen of Hayley Williams' record? I do love Glum and Parachute, of course, but Mirtazapine is not it for me. Thanks.
Rob and I were saying like how cool it is that she got nominated for 3 totally different songs. That's
so
powerful.
Badass.
I was really happy with the Glum nomination. I was surprised. I have to be honest with you. Glum is one of my favorite songs on the record. So that really surprised me. I was surprised to not see Title Track really recognized, because that was like the single that she kind of like sort of pushed. And then she also did push for True Believer, and they kind of didn't. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the politics of that one, but I would have nominated that one again and again and again if I were them. But I was happy with the songs they chose. Mirtazapine is not my favorite either, but I'm just saying at least we got some recognition. Girls.
Yeah, Mirtazapine would be one of my least favorite songs on the album, actually. But I was particularly happy to see Parachute getting a nomination, because that was technically a bonus track. Like, that wasn't even technically on the album itself. And I just thought, to me, that's like one of the best songs on the album. And I think it's the most commercial song on the album, that's for sure. So if there was going to be a single that the Grammys would recognize, it kind of makes sense to me that that's the one. Also pleasantly surprised to see Glum getting a nomination. When I did my first, before she'd named it officially, I thought that Glum would have been a really good name for the record. Ego, Death at the Bachelorette Party doesn't really surprise me that one wasn't nominated. True Believer, though, for alternative song. Now that
we should
True Believer is a real stunner.
It. I don't know. I mean, she performed it on Jimmy Fallon, and that performance is crazy. It's so good. That, to me, I think it's one of. I think if there's like a top 3 best songs on the record, True Believer is definitely in there. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't want to recognize it. I don't know why they didn't want to. Let's push it forward, girls. Let's talk about it. Let's open the case. But Ego Death at a Bachelor Party snubbed album of the year. But we knew that.
And something that we also knew was Disappearing Man song of the year.
Oh, we've been knowing that. Love Me Different song of the year. We knew that. We knew that. I mean, the possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless, and that's what I love about the record so much. But I'm saying Justin Bieber stole Ego Death's spot in album of the year. Maybe one of the men took your slot. Did you ever think about that?
Not maybe. One of the men took your slot. Why don't we talk about Best New Artist again?
Hi, Zach. Hi, Madeline. Love you guys, and I could listen to your Coke rants all day. So my question for the Grammys episode is, which category feels the most competitive and why? I think Best New Artist feels the most competitive. I really hope Addison wins. What do you think?
I agree. I think Best New Artist is the most competitive category. There's a lot of strong contenders there and a lot of different kinds of Grammy bait. Olivia Dean is Grammy bait, and Lola Young actually is also Grammy bait.
There's a lot going on in Best New Artist. I think it's a great category, other than KATSEYE. But still, it's like I wouldn't take them away. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
No,
let them exist. They can be there. It's a great category. I definitely think it's stacked. What's another one that's kind of stacked? Maybe I don't know. It's a lot more dynamic than last year's was. So it's like, are the hip hop albums going to vote split in album of the year? Probably, but like, does that still mean none of them are going to win? I don't know. Mayhem or Man's Best Friend would like. I can't. It's an interesting year, and it's not one where I'm thinking, oh, I know exactly who's going to win. I'm definitely not thinking that. I think a lot of the categories are kind of interesting, but there are some flops. Song of the year, that's kind of a flop category to me this year.
There's some flops that snuck into the crowd. There are some sneaks that made it past the gates.
What was the one that we were looking at with Wicked? The pop duo or whatever it was?
That's a flop
category. Flop summit. And then I thought the pop vocal album category, it's not that it's such a flop summit, but I do think that like we made some choices that I wouldn't have made. This chief of all swag.
I think it's genre competitive, but not necessarily nominee competitive, if that makes sense. Because the weighting of different genres throughout the main categories is quite interesting this year. It's more diverse for sure than it was last year. So that makes it, there's different kinds of the industry, different sections of the industry that will come out to root for things, which I think is interesting. But overall, Best New Artist to me is the most competitive one. The rest of them, I'm kind of like, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 clear front runners, and then a couple that I'm like, no, this is good luck booking that stage you speak of. Swag's not getting album of the year. We know
that's not happening. Then there's always at least a couple where you're like, that's never gonna happen. KATSEYE, that's not gonna happen. Justin Bieber, keep dreaming, etc., etc. But we there's a lot of really good contenders this year. I'm really interested to see what's gonna happen, and I'll be there.
Speaking of what's gonna happen, here is someone asking us how we would feel.
Hello. Okay, straight into it. I know we're often saying like predictions, who you want, etc. But what is your like worst case scenario, absolute nightmare winners for like the big categories? Like what would actually make you spiral the most and why?
Okay, Alex Warren for Best New Artist would send me into oblivion. That would be number 1.
I think for Song of the Year, I think APT would put me in the hospital. If I'm being honest with you, like that would really break me. I think for Record of the Year, what else is nominated there? Is APT up for that one as well? For record?
Let me tell you, Record of the Year, we have DTMF.
If APT wins anything, I'm going to the hospital. Let's just
Manchild, Anxiety, Wildflower, Luther, The Subway, APT, and Abracadabra for Record.
I don't want APT.
For me, it's Wildflower. If Wildflower wins, I'm literally losing my mind. Does not deserve. Phineas, you will never live to see another day on my watch. Stop ruining Billie Eilish's career. Stop making flop bands no one cares about. Stop talking about Taylor Swift. Keep her name out your mouth, etc. Stop making music.
For Album of the Year, I think Swag would put me in the institution, but that would never happen. It would never happen, so it doesn't matter. It's like, why even bring it up?
I think Swag winning would really be a nonsense moment for me. And Wildflower for Song of the Year would also kill me. Who's your worst case scenario for Best New Artist? KATSEYE?
I guess KATSEYE, but I really don't see that happening.
What about
Otherwise,
Somber?
it's like, I mean, everybody else, I would be fine with that. That actually kind of makes sense to me. I would be fine with any of them. Like, I'm not crazy about Alex Warren, but at least I would understand it. At least I would get it. It would like make some semblance of sense. Everybody, that's the thing about Best New Artist. Like, nearly everybody in there kind of deserves to win it, and that's why it's such an interesting category.
It's also an interesting category this year because none of the nominees are nominated in any of the major categories, which is strange because like when Billie won, she was nominated in all 4. Olivia also, I'm pretty sure, was nominated in all 4 the year that she won Best New Artist. Chapel was in a bunch of the main categories too last year. So it is strange. It feels like it can go many different ways. The more I think about it, the less I think Addison Rae has a shot, and that really upsets me. Like, how did KATSEYE receive a nomination for a song and Addison didn't? Can someone answer that question? Anyone?
And for Gabriella, of all the songs, I'm sorry. I honestly would have understood it more if they put Gnarly up. I would have gotten
it was freaky
more.
deep.
Yeah, at least it was doing something. At least it did something. Gabriella is like, it comes on as like a nothing burger.
It's a nothing song. And it shocks me that they, Best New Artist being KATSEYE, I would really be like, this is payola. Like this cannot be what people actually think. That's not serious. Especially like Olivia Dean. Hello? KATSEYE over Olivia Dean. I can't deal with that. That's none of my business.
It would be payola. But luckily, we don't have to live in this reality. All of the things that would really, really kill me, other than APT, like APT definitely has a shot at winning something. Most of the things that would really kill me, I don't think are going to happen.
Well, we always say that, and then did the Grammys surprise last year? Not really. I think the biggest surprise was Album of the Year, just because it was so unclear who it was going to go to.
I was surprised by Kendrick Lamar record and song. Not that I didn't think he deserved it, but
then he got both.
We focused, I think, so much on Chapel or another pop girl winning at least one of those that like I knew that Kendrick was going to clear one. I was surprised that he cleared both. And I've said this, I think Anxiety could do the same thing this year.
Yeah, I was upset that Espresso didn't win Record of the Year. I was like, not like a Song of the Year. That makes total sense to me. Espresso just felt like the Record of the Year, in my opinion.
Yeah. But they not like us. We have to admit it.
Let's do Espresso remix and get it nominated again.
Yeah, that's what she should have done. She should have done a Wildflower kind of a moment.
Put on a wig and submit it as a different artist.
Yeah. It'd be great.
Period. All right, we have one last one. Do you want to, here are the vague titles that I have for you, and you can choose Ariana or Performances.
Performances. We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah.
Hey Snakes, it's Sid from Madison. My question for you is, what would be your dream lineup for performances at the Grammys? We want some Addison, we want some Lorde, Taylor. Would love to hear what your thoughts are. Love the pod.
First of all, did you come to our show in Madison?
I would think so. There was plenty of room. There was plenty of room. Madison was a great show, though. That was our Speak Now show. We were
actually
on a
Madison was
frequency.
Pretty full. By the way, Madison was pretty full. I would like to add that to the record. This is like 80% sold. Madeline's like, there was room.
There was room. Well, 80% isn't 100. There was room.
There was 20% room. There was 20%.
There was 20% room. Is this like for this year? I'm gonna pretend that it's like Grammys performances for this year. Obviously Addison. Obviously Hayley Williams. I would like to see.
What do you want to see them perform?
I would like to see SZA. Oh, what do I want to see them perform? Addison Rae, Fame Is a Gun. We need that on the stage.
Ooh, yep.
Hayley Williams, I want to say True Believer because I feel like it's such the showstopper of the album, but I also kind of want to see Glum live. I want to be big and greedy and say Glum.
Let's do a medley. You got so many songs nominated. Let's hear them.
I think for clips, I would want to have like a John Legend featured moment and have the Birds Don't Sing, or Chains and Whips with Kendrick Lamar. That would go absolutely insane. And then SZA, I just want her to show up. Maybe she comes on stage. Maybe she shows up. She's barely nominated, so I don't even know if she'll go. If I were her, I'd be offended and I wouldn't show up. But if I may speak, I would like to see SZA on the stage, and I would like to see her doing maybe Crybaby, because she's nominated for that. Who else would I like to see? I don't know. I think that's a good crop. That's a good crop of performers. I like them.
I personally would like to see Sabrina doing House Tour. That's a primary interest to me. I don't want to hear Tears again. I've had enough of that. Enough of you beast. We need to move on. I would really like to see Addison Rae doing the tour performance of High Fashion because I think that it's really like a serve. I don't want her to do Diet Pepsi, and I fear she might. Like we're moving on from that, please. I want to see Olivia Dean doing Man I Need. I'm very interested in that. And I want Gaga doing Abracadabra, but not the washed Coachella version. Like
She's been doing that too much. She's been doing that too much.
We've done it. It was amazing the first time I saw it, but I've seen it like 3 times now. So I think it's time just to come up with something else. I don't want to see Justin Bieber perform. I'm not interested in that. I'd also like to see Defying Gravity.
Oh yeah, let's get them on the stage. Why not? I mean, Wicked is going because the second part is coming out on Thanksgiving or like on Thanksgiving weekend or something like that. So it's like over. So I think like a lot of people like the Oscars community, like, oh well, they're not going to win this year. Like they're not going to give Cynthia or Ariana awards at the Oscars or the Golden Globes this year. They're going to do it next year for like the finale. So it's like let's put them up on the Grammys main stage for the finale. I don't see why not. It's a huge thing. People are talking about it. I think I would like to see it.
It's one of those songs that is like designed to be performed in an award show.
It takes your breath away. When I saw her doing it, what's the name of that thing? One Night Only or Wicked, One Magical Night.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Is it good?
I've only seen Defying Gravity. It took my breath away. It does every time. I don't know why I'm so surprised.
Did they perform it together or it was just Cynthia?
The part that I saw of it, it was just Cynthia and she was flying around the room.
Oh, she's flying around the room. I need to see this.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it. And everybody's like in the crowd's like, oh, that would be me. I'd be in tears. It was amazing.
No, period. I want to see that. Well, I think that about wraps up this week's episode of Phone a Snake. Don't forget patreon.com/switchologist because there's a lot more where that came from. A lot more where that came from. I can give you a little taste of what's to come, what you might be hearing. You could be hearing about Maddie Healy having fleas. You could be hearing about Wishlist being a Christmas single. Yeah.
Ooh.
You could be hearing about
that.
Yeah, you're about to hear about it. So if you want to hear, please head over patreon.com/switchologist and we will see you soon for the Snammies, our Evolution of a Snake Grammy Awards.
Don't forget it. Do not forget it.
Couldn't if you tried.